Welcome to another installment of the Fragments of Silicon reviews. We are back from Thanksgiving holiday with a fresh batch of games to cover. 3 reviews, 1 impressions vid this time around. The first of which is Operation Valor. Although maybe calling this a review is too strong a word. I'm like, even impression might be off balance.
See, it had to work for it to be an impression.
Yeah, obligation is probably the best word I got for what this is, because this is one of those things where I'm like, the developers and their PR flunkies have been chatty about us reviewing the game, so here we are, like, fulfilling said obligation, like, for whatever that might be worth. But before we get into those weeds, I suppose I should cover the basics. Anyway, Operation Valor is a tactical top-down multiplayer shooter that provides a large-scale combat through base building and teamwork. So I'm hoping you can all out there in the audience spot perhaps the hurdle we encountered when trying to cover this game. Indeed, this was one of the things we had lined up back on Friday that did not work. And in this case, seems to be all won the game. Because, I don't know, I'm not sure if their servers are down or what's going on, but we were unable to connect to anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there seems to be some, like, their online infrastructure isn't completely down or anything. Like, it'll still show my game profile, and
like,
it'll
we were able
still
to connect to a party. We just couldn't get into a game.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a problem. But I think the cardinal sin that this game is doing is there are no lobbies. Like, it seems like what's standing in for a lobby is like you can join a team before you connect to a server or something like that. Like, Penny and I were on a team, but we couldn't connect to anything. And that's just part of the problem, because, I did go and join their Discord after jumping through some hoops and reading up on things, and not surprising that a game like this has not a dead multiplayer population necessarily, but it's a tiny one.
Yeah,
and
it seems to almost be like scheduled ? Like, they have certain days that they'll play more than others, from what it looks like.
Yeah. Like, and like, the way the online is structured, you kind of have to play it that way, because like I said, this doesn't seem to be the kind of, there doesn't seem to be people just playing the game. Like, which is not good for casual play. But I suppose, with a game like this, it's not really going for casual. Because this is quite the hardcore affair. Like, because this isn't Fortnite, even though on paper you could compare it to Fortnite, since it's third person shooting combined with building mechanics. But we are talking like a very baseline comparison here, because this game is top down. It's it's about tactics. You've got to watch like ammo counts, and you got to build structures strategically. You just can't build it wherever. This is meant to be engaged with a lot of planning. So it's not surprising that this kind of game is built with casual play not in mind. But that does have its downsides. It, from what I've been able to gather, it seems like the best bets to actually get a game going are like when the dev streams out.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had they're planning on having a session soon for the release of their next map, like their fourth map, for example. So the game isn't dead. The developer is still releasing content for it, but
if your schedule doesn't line up with their particular, I guess, stream or publishing time or whatever, you're probably not going to be able to play much with other people.
Yeah, and while Petty is playing the game here, it's one of those token offline training sessions that have been a staple of multiplayer focused games for a few decades now. Like I remember like Quake 3 Arena and Unreal Tournament had this shit. Offline bot play, which was okay, but it's not really the focus of the game. Like with this, it's not even that. What Petty is playing here is just advanced tutorial.
Yeah, like I can do a live fire session in one of the shoot houses, but like it's still bots.
Yeah. So there's not much value in purchasing this as a single player experience or as an offline title.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But like ultimately this game is very hard to recommend.
Yeah. I think there is a LAN play option, but like, oh wait, no, that might have been Perfect Heist had the LAN play.
Like I didn't see a LAN option there, and like theoretically this game would be able to work like that, but it seems really structured towards online play.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah,
Yeah, there is no LAN setting this game. That must have been Perfect Heist I was thinking of.
Yeah. So I guess another bit of notation from developers' future plans here. The next major event that they got in the cards will be on December 15th. Um, which I'm not sure. It seems like this is going to be in celebration of class-based AI. So
I guess
once again,
it's more the bots can use the class system in the game.
yeah. I'm guessing that's for greater multiplayer accessibility or something like that. But once again, we can only review the game or do impressions or whatever when it hits our schedule. So whatever this game is going to be in a month's time, in a year's time, is beyond the scope of the here and now. Speaking of that, this game is $14.99 in terms of pricing, which is not bad for a multiplayer focused affair.
Like there's probably enough depth in here that it could be worth that, but there's not
just
a consistent player base.
Yeah, that's always the defining question when it comes to multiplayer focused, especially when they're community facing.
This game is going to live and die on its community, and if a regular community doesn't show up to play more often than just when the dev releases stuff, it's going to be hard for this game to live.
Yeah. Because it's not going to be able, it's a chicken and the egg scenario that spirals into maintenance mode, let's say.
Right.
But with what this game has going, if you're looking for something, just to play, there are so many other options. You kind of have to be in this niche, I think. Either tactical strategy, real-time tactical strategy, not turn-based.
Right. This isn't SWAT.
No, and it's not like Fire Emblem or anything like that either.
Or SWAT, it's probably the closest comparison, but it's more active than SWAT.
The game that this reminds me the most of is the Commando series.
I have not played that.
I haven't played it either. I just know of it, and it's very much this.
Fair.
But it's like, even if you're into this niche, you have to make the effort to make the multiplayer work for you.
Unless they come out with some kind of campaign mode down the line.
Yeah, but once again, that's down the line.
Right.
So ultimately, I have to say that I cannot, in good conscience, give this game a recommendation. Unfortunate.
I guess if it's your niche and you see it on sale for less than $5, grab it. A community may sprout up, but it's definitely not right now. It's not $15.
Maybe this game will do a free-to-play weekend somewhere down the line. But
there are people who like this kind of game. It just lives and dies by its community.
Yep. Because once again, this is even the kind of game where you can just go and grab 3 of your fellow mates.
Yeah.
And
it's not like Call of Duty where you can sink 15 minutes to a round. These matches look like they take a while from what I was seeing online.
Yeah. But unfortunately, it's fairly inaccessible. Anyway, so I think that'll about do it for Operation Valor here. Be sure to tune in after the break, as Petty Fan will be reviewing Astro's Playroom.